We've been amazed at the incredible experiences people have built in Horizon Worlds. The process of creating a world with your friends, in real time, in VR, is really special, and it's only getting better. I'm a part of a team that is passionate about creating these types of experiences and helping other creators unlock the power of Horizon Worlds. Hi, I'm Vu, and today a few of my friends and I are going to create a quick demo. Along the way, we'll show you how we use Horizon creation tools to build this world. For this demo, we're going to create a rooftop poker game where you'll need to navigate the environment to collect the most coins. You'll be able to dress your character, jump and swing around, and compete with your friends. We'll also be adding some scorekeeping, a leaderboard, and achievements to tie it all together. When we're done, we'll publish the world so that everyone can jump in and try it out. We'll also provide a template version of the world for editing so you can dive in deeper to understand what we did. Let's get started.
We are standing in what is essentially a 3D blank canvas. We have a bunch of ideas for what we want to do, and in Horizon Worlds, we have the tools to bring that vision to life. Hi, I'm Eugene, and I'm one of the collaborators on this project. I love to build things, and creating in Horizon Worlds lets me quickly and tangibly turn my ideas into an immersive, interactive, shareable experience. With these tools, there is a freedom and physicality to the creation process that I haven't experienced in any other digital medium. In addition to building from scratch, I can also pull pre-made items out of the asset library. Since we'll be making a cityscape to play in, let's see if I can find a few buildings for our world. You'll notice that some of the items in the asset library have complex and unique shapes you won't see in the build menu. That's because we've been adding assets that were created using tools outside of Horizon Worlds to give creators more options. We've also already seen folks incorporating them into their worlds with amazing results. You'll see plenty more items like these as the asset library continues to expand. And that's not all. I'm happy to announce that we're working on enabling creators to import triangle mesh items built outside of Horizon Worlds into their personal libraries. That means that you will soon be able to import assets you've made on other creation platforms directly into Horizon Worlds. We know lots of creators love building with other digital design tools, and we want to make sure that your worlds reflect your talent and your personality. Oh, here's a good one. That's great, but let's customize it a bit. When you pull an item out of the asset library, you can modify it any way you see fit. The other great thing about the asset library is that it lets you save items you've previously made. So, anything you build or any script you write can be saved into your personal library, and you can easily reuse it in any other world you're building. It's a massive time saver. Okay, that's a great start, but we have a whole city to populate. Cue time lapse. To build out our city map, we're using a combination of assets from the asset library as well as our own personal creations. Since this will be a parkour world, we're adding lots of verticality with ledges to jump from and construction cranes as anchor points for swinging. We're really leaning into that sense of scale and freedom that VR does best. When you're creating a world, every aspect from the general layout down to the tiniest details are in your hands. One of my favorite things about Horizon Worlds is the ability to create something and then immediately feel like you're there. So you can make a model in your hands and blow it up to the size of a skyscraper and actually go stand on top of it. And here we are. Hey, Vu, can you get over here?
It looks a little far, but luckily, one of the newer features we've released allows creators to make scripted player movement. This means that you can build some really fun movement-based mechanics. To help show you what I mean, we'll start with a simple jump pad for crossing these building gaps. Here's a jump pad that I saved in my personal library. Let's try it out. The jump pad launched me, but it looks like I fell a bit short. Good thing I can inspect and change anything in the world, including this jump pad. Let's take a look at its script. This is a line in the script that changes the player's velocity and launches them into the air. It looks like there is a variable we can just change to increase the force. Let's go ahead and do that. One of the coolest things about Horizon Worlds is that it lets you jump back and forth instantly between editing and testing, even while others are collaborating in the world. Let's see if this works better. Nice. Perfect. We'll put these jump pads all over the world to make it easier to navigate. That jump pad was a simple example, but scripted player movement allows for a lot of powerful mechanics like flying, climbing, and swinging. All kinds of stuff that feels thrilling in VR and opens enormous gameplay possibilities. For this world, we also want to give players the ability to swing around these buildings and reach different areas. I think something like a grappling hook could work really well. We could build one from scratch, but I have here in my asset library something I made earlier. This asset has a script that uses a new update event to modify a player's velocity each frame. Let's give it a swing! Woo! That was awesome! Now we have a great movement mechanic for this world. Let's enhance the experience with the help of my friend Yanis. Yanis, how do we make this world feel more alive?
When building a world, an artist creates what's in their mind's eye using visual elements, color, and design to tell the narrative. A sound designer does the same with sonic elements, frequency, and mechanics. I'm Yanis, and I specialize in helping creators use our audio tools to make their worlds come to life. So, how do we decide what sounds to include and how should they be heard? Let's look at our world. While we're up high on the rooftops, we'd probably expect to hear some wind sounds up above and a busy city below. So I've placed specialized sound gizmos around the world to create the sonic environment. By adding a city ambience below, this helps to emphasize movement through the verticality of the world. However, we can do a lot more than that. This is an experience that emphasizes movement and speed, especially with the grappling hooks. So we want to make sure that we capture the emotion of swinging through the air. To do this, I'm going to assign each player their own wind sound gizmo. This sound helps provide a sense of environment and speed. So to ensure each player only hears their own wind sound, I am locking the gizmo to the player's head and will give it a small auditory radius. To give the player a dynamic sense of motion, I have attached a script to drive the wind's pitch and volume based on that player's velocity. In an immersive environment, dynamic feedback like this can have an enormous impact on the player's experience. Let's take a listen.
The world sounds so alive now, Yanis. Thank you so much. Let's check in with Eugene next. What are you up to?
I'm working on player outfits.
Cool!
Everyone loves customizing their avatars. It's fun, it's expressive, and it adds a layer of immersiveness into the world. I mean, come on, who doesn't enjoy that? Now, I want to make sure that there's a lot of options just like this for each player. But that could really start to add up, especially when you factor in other objects like scenery and effects. This is where another new feature, asset spawning, is a total game changer. With asset spawning, you can load assets directly from the asset library into the live world as needed. To show you how this works, I'm going to use this fashion station asset. This is essentially a clothing rack that lets you cycle through and equip various items. None of these are preloaded in the world. Instead, the station dynamically spawns each hat, each pair of glasses, or any other wearable item. If the item isn't equipped, the script deletes it, saving on capacity. This way, you can have lots of options for all your players without breaking the capacity bank. Now, I've already saved the dino helmet I made into my personal library, so I can actually delete these. And now I can connect the saved asset to the spawning script. Awesome. This is just one example of asset spawning. You can use this powerful feature to spawn other game elements like player HUDs or even procedural environments.
Now that we have our environment, fun movement mechanics, great audio, and some personalization, I'm going to add some structure to the world. The asset library isn't limited to just models and props. You can also store complex systems. I created a coin collection game earlier and saved it into my personal asset library. This asset includes all the scripts and objects needed for the game to function and should be easy to integrate into this world. For this game, players compete to touch the coin the most times before time runs out. Each time you touch the coin, it gives you a point and then moves to a new random location in the environment. Let's go ahead and make the coin move around our map by duplicating these boxes around the environment to mark different places the coin can move to. The game should be ready to go. Next, I want to make it so people have a reason to come back and play over and over again, and feel rewarded for their efforts. To do that, we can add leaderboards so players can compete with one another for the top spots, and achievements to give players goals and a sense of progression. We've made it easy to set up leaderboards and achievements using the Systems tab. Next, I just need to modify some of my scripts to use my setup. And finally, place the appropriate gizmos into the world. With that, let's test out the game.
So many points.
That was just a few of the features that are available right now. There's a lot more that we didn't have time to talk about, like precise hand physics and dynamic lighting. You'll be able to try it all out when you start building.
We've titled this world City Parkour, and it will be available tomorrow for you to check out and play. We're also providing a customizable template version that you can edit.
We hope you enjoyed this overview, and I can't wait to see what you make. Thanks for
Thanks for
watching.
watching.
Am I early?
Hey, Vu, what did you want to show me?
Check this out.
That's great! How did you do that?